So in this segment, we're going to talk about how do we deal with schools and universities now that we know that there is ADHD. More often than not, a school or university will already have some idea that there was ADHD-like symptoms, either in your child or in the university student, or potentially the adult as well, because this could be applicable to the job. But more specific to schools, that means you have the opportunity to potentially seek help. In schools, there's a 504 plan, which is more an accommodation plan, where the school can offer you different types of seating arrangements, extended time on tests, testing in a different environment, or we can build other things into a 504 plan that can accommodate for the difficulties that you might be struggling with ADHD. More often than not, parents are going to be more familiar with the idea of an IEP, which stands for an individualized education plan. That's where schools have to be more stringent in the work that they're doing. They may provide more one-to-one teaching assistance if there are subject matters that are more difficult. But they not only have to provide the assistance, but they have to track it as an outcome. And you can get benchmark monitoring throughout the year to know how the individual is performing within the school environment. The first step to that process is asking the school for an IEP or a 504 plan. But the trick is, it's not just asking. You can ask all year long, and the school technically can say, yes, we'll look at that. But until you provide a written request to the school to say, I want my child evaluated for an educational support plan of some type, sign and date that, they don't have to respond. But once you provide that information in a written format, they now have to formally respond to you and let you know what they're thinking about your student and tell you their action plan. They can tell you why they don't think one might be needed, and you can either agree or disagree with that. If you disagree, you can still say, no, I want this to be continued so that I have the opportunity to see what my child's performing like in the school environment. Just because your child has ADHD does not mean that they will qualify for school supports. First of all, the ADHD has to be in some way impairing their behavior or ability to perform effectively in the academic environment. The second thing, it has to negatively influence their academic performance as well. For those children with ADHD, typically speaking, they'll qualify for an IEP if, there's behavioral disturbance and academic performance issues under the idea of otherwise health impaired. We call that OHI, but that's the most common placement for them. If they're causing behavioral problems, and because we haven't identified it early and given them support, that their behaviors are more disruptive to the classroom environment, some of these children may also be included for emotionally impaired services, but hopefully if we catch it early, that won't happen. If a formal IEP is not needed, more often than not, the next phase will be for the school to offer you an accommodation or a 504 plan. The benefit of a 504 plan, especially in high school, is that it doesn't end at high school. That 504 plan can carry with the individual straight into college, and the school can start providing accommodations for college too. An IEP does end at the 12th grade, and if they are going to go on to college, we then need to pursue a 504 plan for the college environment.